Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. So today we're going to finish up our rust repair on the bottom of the cab this time. I'm going to show you guys how we're welding in the back of the patches, and I'm also going to show you guys what kind of problems we have structurally. And we're also going to do some sandblasting. So I'm going to pop up right here the sandblaster we bought. I think we spent about 20 bucks, and we bought it from Home Depot if I remember right. And then we bought the media from Tractor Supply Co. for 8 bucks a bag, and I want to say we actually used 5 to 6 bags of that. And then we bought a bucket, I want to say it was a 5-gallon bucket, and we would just pour the media in the bucket, put the sandblasting kit's feeding line into the bucket, and then we would just hook the air compressor up. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'll show you guys what we were up against. So the actual structures themselves, as you can see here, they're all rotted out pretty bad. In fact, this structure here on the passenger side in the front, I'm actually able to stick my entire hand through that bracing right there. So what we did in order to combat this is we ordered some replacement bracings. Well, they didn't fit perfect. They're actually a little bit too wide, so they went over the old bracings. So what we decided to do was just clean up everything, prime it, and then weld the new braces on top of the old braces, and it really cleaned up the bottom. In fact, if you weren't looking for it, you probably wouldn't even notice it. Now, is this the way to do it on a complete restoration? No, I wouldn't think so, but it ended up looking pretty good for us, and I like the way that it turned out. One other thing I want to note is I did put the welding settings, like a picture, an actual shot of the welding settings in the last video, but generally speaking, if you're going to do rust repair, you're going to do any kind of floor pans, you don't want to have super hot settings. So I think our welder, it's a 180, and it was set on 1 or 2, and the wire speed was at 2 to 4 or something like that. And you really want to go in short bursts around it, so that way the metal doesn't tend to warp. So for instance, if you're welding the patch on, you want to start at 12 o'clock, cool it off, go to 6 o'clock, cool it off, go to 3 o'clock, cool it off, etc. And you just want to go around like that. You don't want to do just straight beads typically, otherwise the metal will start to warp. Now, one thing I do want to caution you guys who are thinking about trying this, I would definitely buy more tips for the gun, because the media is so abrasive that it begins to wear out the tip after a certain amount of time. And then another thing that you need to consider is we don't live in a humid climate, but the sandblaster did clog up quite a bit on me. I don't know if that was just because the humidity in the tanks from the compressors that was maybe getting into the lines and clogging everything up. I'm really not sure what to attribute that to. Anyway, that was one of the major headaches I had. For like 2 or 3 minutes, it would work awesome. Everything would go flawlessly. I had no issues at all. And then all of a sudden, everything would start clogging up real bad. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're going to go that route as well. Another thing is, make sure that you have a beefy compressor. If you don't have a beefy compressor, I wouldn't even attempt it. And for me anyway, I think that the bottom line is if you can get the cab sandblasted for a moderate amount of money, something that fits within your budget, 100% do it! Just do it! I guess I took it for granted how easy the frame was to complete, like to get it sandblasted and powder coated. It looks like $1 million and it was so easy. Well, I should have just taken the cab there, because between the man hours and the amount of money we spent, it would have just been far more worth our time to have gotten the cab sandblasted, because it took us several days. It took us probably 2 or 3 days to get the bottom of that cab sandblasted. The major pro to it is that you can do it for cheaper. So guys balling on a budget, this may be a good route for you. But if you can even get it done for, you know, 100 to 150 bucks on the cab, maybe even a little bit more, I think it's well worth it. Maybe even 200, it's well worth it, I think. So there's probably nicer sandblasting kits out there. And if you want to do more stuff like this in the future, it may be beneficial for you to go ahead and buy a sandblasting kit and just, you know, call it done. Go spend 200 bucks on a sandblasting kit. Maybe that'll work for you. Anyway, I should have another video up for you guys next week reviewing my recent purchase from Automotive Touch-Up. So I've been doing a little bit of research on some things that may be able to help fix the appearance of our truck. So as I showed you guys in an older video, and I'll show you right now, the truck has kind of a Dalmatian look to it. It's been sprayed with, you know, green, blue, and I think the bed was yellow at one point. Someone just sprayed primer over it to try to make it match the bluish green truck. Anyway, I started doing some research, and I stumbled across Automotive Touch-Up. So their site allows you to find the exact paint that you need in order to match your truck or car's original color. So what I did is I went ahead and ordered that light green that was for a 64 C10 originally. When I was rubbing down the firewall, I also noticed that someone had written on the firewall, you know, light green. So I just went to Automotive Touch-Up, typed in my year, make, and model, and voila, there it was, the exact color I needed. And they also sell this to you in an aerosol can as a base color, so I was able just to get it, just to test it out. So I'm excited to put up a review for you guys next week for those of you guys who have a truck that somebody else has screwed up, or maybe the paint isn't quite right. Maybe you can order some touch-up paint and make your truck or car look a lot better, give it a better patina. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you see so far, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and I'll see you guys next time.